doesn't he have a big clock?
No, he's a big.
Hover
Little
college.
one.
The grandfather clock, it's in the Hover College.
Oh.
Detective Matthew. All right,
He
Chief.
said he was going to come. I told my staff to contact him, see if he was coming.
I've seen her maybe, but. Oh, Chief.
Chief!
Hi. Hello.
Over here!
Over here. Is there a sign, Stephen? All right, it is 8:45. We'll call this meeting of the Public Safety Committee to order for Wednesday, September 28th. Clerk, please call the roll.
Council Harden,
Present.
Council Boone,
Present.
and Chairman Craig Cormier.
President. Review and approval of meeting of March 14th, 2022, May 12th, 2022. Any motion?
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Move to approve the minutes of March 14th, 2022, and May 12th, 2022. As is. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Department updates.
Good morning. We're at 841 building permits right now. Last year, we didn't make it to 841 last year until August 12th, so we're actually a little bit ahead of last year, which has been pretty steady all summer. We've been 2 or 3 weeks ahead of last year's schedule, which is boding well for everyone knows that there's a threat of a recession and interest rates are up, but it seems like people are still doing projects, so that's a good sign. We have a local inspector's job open right now. I had 2 applicants so far. One wasn't certified or capable of becoming certified. The second one declined an interview once he found out what the pay was. So we're back to square one on that one. Night custodian is the same boat. We've been looking for a night custodian for almost 3 months now. We're just not getting any applicants. So if anybody knows anybody, we'd love to fill that position. The elementary school opened on time. We were there on Sunday doing the final inspection to get them in, but it did open. They have a temporary occupancy permit. The concession stand at the high school has begun. The foundation's being poured today. We were at School Street School again yesterday for another break-in. More plywood that had to be bought and installed. Hopefully that RFP goes out for that building soon. Zoning's been very busy. We've got the remand. We have a remand case for Clark Street, the Clark Street development. The zoning board denied use variance, and they appealed it to the courts, and the courts sent it back to the zoning board. So that'll be happening on October 20th of this month. We actually had 2 zoning meetings this month. We're scheduled that one for the auditorium because we expect a big crowd, so that's a separate night.
What date was that?
October 20th, it's a Thursday night. I have an appointment at the fire station this afternoon we're still working on trying to mitigate the roof leaks. I have a plumber coming this afternoon because there's actually roof drains that are leaking. So this afternoon we're going to flood the fire station roof with the trucks, and the plumber's going to find the leaks, identify the leaks, and have them repaired so that we can get the ceiling put back together before they have to turn the heat on. That's all I got. Unless you guys got any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. So we've been encumering some money for the last couple of budget cycles for a project up on Reservoir Hill to kind of stabilize our radio. So currently everything sits up there in a shed. The shed is not road-proof. Fire department has to go up there weekly to clean out the mouse traps and stuff. So a few years. Right. So we're looking for a more permanent solution to make sure we don't have any issues with radio stuff. So a couple of years back, they had set some money aside. It's been encumbered, so Fire Chief and I are starting the process. We're going to clear the area up there. We're going to start to try and get it ready, at least if we can't get it done before snow flies, finish it in the spring. They make purpose-built buildings that are road-proof. I think cell phone companies do something like that, so we're inquiring about that type of thing right now. So we're working on bids or establishing on-call stuff, but we're getting there. We have one trainee starting the academy on October 17th in Boylston. We were supposed to have two. The second trainee did not pass the physical, the 2 tests of the entry physical fitness exam. We're going to give that trainee another opportunity for an academy starting a month later to see where we stand with that. Because the issue is with our issue is going to be staffing very shortly. We're currently 5 down. November 30th, there'll be 6 down, and February 3rd, there'll be 7 down. Detective Colmar is retiring November 30th, and John Lawrence is slated to retire February 3rd. So we're currently talking with John maybe about sticking around to the end of the school year to help us, but he's thinking about it. So the civil service has been the issue with that. I did meet with Representative Slotnick regarding where it's stalled currently in the legislature, so we're trying to hold off pulling another civil service list, but we may not have a choice but to pull another civil service list because we're reaching critical levels for staffing. So that's kind of on my radar. We're trying to get that taken care of. We've received a lot of canine gifts. I know that a few have been publicized, but the generosity of the community is absolutely flabbergasting, truthfully. OT is in good shape. We're about 12% through, but heavy time off season is coming, so we'll have to backfill. So we'll start to really go through some OT at this point. We've got a couple of grants that offset a lot of that type of stuff, and they're fairly significant. One of them is close to $50,000, and a lot of it helps offset some of our narcotics investigations and things like that. So, animal control, we've got one out right now, injured. She's a few weeks out, still coming back. I had one with COVID, and there's another one out sick, so we don't have any animal control officers right now. We're working on a solution to take care of that. Potentially using ACOs from other areas to come in and help us. Civil defense, working on resurrecting our prior task force that shares resources, information, possibly have some funding opportunities as well. So that's currently in the works, and that's about it. If you guys have any questions.
I have one. Does the city require, maybe it might be for Warren later, the city require COVID shots in order to be hired?
I'm not that aware of them.
No. Okay, thanks.
I have a question. Pleasant Street, since the bridge has been opened, that traffic down Pleasant Street is like, Greenwood Street is like a racetrack down there. I don't know if you could possibly have someone take a,
We can put the radar trail out there.
Something.
We can put some.
I'm not saying they'll pay attention to it, but
Sure.
you can try.
Sure. And we always, when we reopen a road, or we repave a road, or things like that, this is kind of a double-edged sword. People are upset that want the road paved, but then we pave the road.
They're racing.
The byproduct of that is
Yeah.
people tend to drive over faster and stuff. But so Greenwood Street, is there a specific area that you were?
From where the,
Just Polish Square down to about Park Baker Street?
yes.
Okay. We'll take care of
I
that.
don't see what happens at the other end, but I'm assuming it's a little slower pace at the
Oh,
other
okay,
end.
that section. We'll take care of that.
All right, thanks.
Anything else?
All right, so prevention updates. Veronica has been doing game changers and escape the vape in Gardner High School, Gardner Middle School. Now the 9th annual National Night Out was held August 2nd. It's been a while since we've met, so I'm just giving you all the updates. It was at Gardner High School, which was a new location, and I think it went really well. I think it was a good change. We used to have a Monument Park every year, but so I was apprehensive about the change, but I think it was a good space. A lot more space for people to space out and stuff. September is almost over, recovery month, so Veronica was working on a photo project in the community of people in long-term recovery. The photos were placed throughout the community, and then there was an event here this past Friday where there was a speaker and all the photos were put on display. I wasn't there, but I heard you were there. It was a good event. I heard over like 100 people came, which is awesome. Like when we started to first started doing these types of events in the community, it would be lucky to get like 20 people, and now we're like in the hundreds, so definitely gaining traction with those type of events, so that's awesome. She's working on the prevention conference. It's an annual conference held every year in October, so that is going to be held here at City Hall on October 21st. So there will be a speaker at that as well, and then a panel to do some questions and answers afterwards. The landfill. So I've been having issues with the pumps at the landfill. They're showing that they're continuously in high alarm. So we're trying to figure out if it's like a panel issue, like the sensors and electrical issues, or if it's actually the pumps. So we had a company out there this week and they pulled all the pumps. Basically, he says the pump system is really like sophisticated. We called it a Cadillac of pump systems, but it's been neglected. So the maintenance that has been done has been shoddy. We're not using that company anymore, and I'm relatively new to this position, so I'm kind of getting up to speed on what's going on down there, and it's kind of a mess. So I would like to address it, bring it back to full compliance, and then I would like to ask for a line in my budget for maintenance, because that doesn't exist currently. When I came on, there was no line in my landfill budget for maintenance. I think it needs to be there. I think that's why we're in this problem right now. So just a heads up, I will be asking for some free cash shortly to get this project going at the landfill. It has to be done. I mean, these are the pumps that take our leachate from the cap landfill and pump it out to be treated, and it's important. Like, I also have an issue with erosion down there, and DEP has dinged us. They say we need to fix it. The consultant I had come out this week said he can fix it, he can throw down some, bring it back up, throw some hydro seed on it, but until we fix those pumps, because right now they're leaking at the top of the cap, so until we fix that problem, we can put a Band-Aid on it, but it's just going to come right off. So I want to start working on those as soon as possible. So I'll get a full report from him, and we'll go from there. I kind of talked with the mayor with this yesterday, so. There is a new textile ban and mattress ban. It starts in November. You guys live in Gardner, I show you got this nice little postcard about how textiles are being banned from the waste stream. So we did hire, we contracted with Big Brother Big Sisters. They'll do like at-home pickups, they'll come get the materials. People call a lot and ask questions. It's pretty much any materials they will take. So if it's an old holy sock, they will take it. They're going to recycle, they're going to break down the material and make it a new material. They don't want anything covered in blood or oil or any bodily fluids like that, but pretty much everything else we're going to have to start recycling and putting in those clothing boxes. And they'll also come and do pickups of household items and whatnot. I'm actually having them come out this Friday and get stuff on my porch. So it's a good program. Just call, schedule a pickup, they'll come out. As far as mattresses, we already have mattress recycling at the transfer station here in Gardner, so I'm not worried about that. Yeah, we do. We have used one of the state-approved mattress recyclers is Raw Material Recovery, and they're right in Gardner. So we have a contract with them. They come and pick up our mattresses at transfer. Buy a ticket in our office or online, $20, and then we pay raw material and all the way. So we're good there. We're ahead of the game there. Since we met last, I lost my assistant director, Rick Rossi. This guy stole him. He's now the PD as a communications director. So we did interviews, and I did end up hiring Angela DePrima, who worked in my office as the administrative coordinator. She's been doing an excellent job training. She's really hit the ground running with housing, which has been crazy. But now we're trying to hire someone to replace her position. That's how that goes. So we did interviews last week, and we did offer to someone this week. So we are hoping to be full staff shortly. And as I mentioned, housing has been crazy. We've worked with some city departments on various condemnations and unfit for human habitations. Lots of fun stuff going on in Gardner. there was a house with 30 rabbits and 7 turkeys, and I know ACO was involved, and MSPCA was involved, and they had to remove the rabbits and the turkeys, and then we had to order them to clean up the property, which they actually have done. She says it looks pretty good compared to, yeah, I heard it looks good. So we've had lots of interesting stuff going on. There's a man living in a mobile home. We've had to tell him he can't live there. There's no running water. There was a house that collapsed back in April.
Sorry, street.
Yeah, very unfortunate situation. But he's going to the bathroom on the property. There's no running water. Temporary housing is not allowed per the state sanitary code, and we are the enforcement agent on that. So we've worked with PD and building department on, writing a report to get his unregistered vehicles in the pop-up trailer towed off the property. We're trying to help him out with like Mike Ellis at the senior center, and we're trying to hook him up with services. I mean, it's not easy to displace somebody, but we also have to do our job. Like, we can't let this person stay, falling down mobile pop-up on the property, It's a tough situation, so that's in the works. My board, he did go before my board to ask for an extension. They said September 12th was the date, so we went with PD on the 13th. We placarded his mobile home, but he's still kicking around there, I think. So it's going to be a matter of just getting the things towed off the property. So there's that. We also have started to work on enforcing in-site violations based on that new litter ordinance that you guys approved, which is really helpful. Like, there's some real problem areas in the city, like, for example, like Main Street behind those buildings, like Rear Main Street. Like, in the spring, like, I personally went out there and cleaned up at the event with, like, my daughter and a bunch of high school kids, and now it's just trashed again. Like, it's trashed, and it's really, really, like, hard to watch that. So we are sending all those owners back there letters, like, reminding them that we have this new ordinance, and we're going to start enforcing it. So people need to be responsible for their properties. It's really, really bad back there, and it's not really fair to have, people do this every few months when it's really the responsibility of the owner. So we're going to start working on that. Which brings me to the Keep Gardner Beautiful Fall Cleanup is this Saturday, October 1st, 9 to noon. We meet in the Staples lot, and you pick a section, you clean it. Super fun. Until you see it's littered again in a couple weeks. We also did our opening inspection at the Gardner Elementary School. We inspected the kitchen. It all looked really good. There was a little delay with the hood system, but they had a plan in place to serve the food until that got inspected, so all went well. We started setting out food permits yesterday for annual licensing, so after October 1st, people can start renewing those licenses online. COVID cases are high right now, 9.29 positivity rate in Gardner, and that's just for the PCR testing. That does not account for people doing the at-home tests. The state rate is 7.44, so we are quite a bit higher than the Massachusetts positivity rate. We're still giving out the COVID home test kits in the health department office, and we've definitely seen an increase in walk-ins trying to pick up those tests. The bivalent COVID-19 vaccine is now available. It's the new booster that's targeted to produce immune response against the original strain and the new Omicron variants. Pfizer has approved it for anyone 12 or older who's already completed their primary, which means just the 2 original. You don't have to actually be boosted to now get this booster. And our epidemiologist is working with the PACC on potentially having a clinic for this booster at the PACC some evening in October. I just don't have a date yet. And we have our City Hall flu clinic for our employees scheduled October 10th. Actually, it says October 10 to 12:30. I don't know the date. I'll get back to you. You should get an email from HR on that. That's all I got. I know there's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, Lauren, have you had any cost for the maintenance item estimate that you would be requesting? Because I think our free cash right now is $60,000.
That's not going to cut it. He said $100,000 to $200,000 to bring it back into full compliance and fix, I mean, it's a lot of things. We were on the phone for an hour yesterday talking about his findings on Monday when he was out there. I asked him to put something in like a full report with an estimate, obviously, but he said even that might take him like over a week just to get all his thoughts. And this is the owner of the company who came out personally. So I'd like to look at that report, but.
Instead, we spent it on parks and.
This is a big need. This is, I mean, I don't know how it got to this point, but now I'm stuck with it, so I'd like to fix it and then maintain it.
Yeah, of course.
We can't ignore it, you know, it's not something that can just be ignored.
Thanks.
Is there any questions? Did you have any questions?
In general?
In general, for
Yeah, I know, Mr. Chair, the hen house parking, it was really difficult getting out of that street where I live because there would be a car that would be parked right in front of Big Red. So I was wondering if that was addressed in the traffic commission.
I don't think we discussed that. That doesn't sound right. Is that it? We could definitely bring it up. I think the last thing we addressed in that area was the stop sign we put back up. I think that was the last thing I remember us addressing over there.
So people are parking there, and then you're trying to see who's coming up the hill, up West Street towards Gardner Center, and you got a car right there. So you're trying, you know how difficult it is getting out of there.
Right,
anyway.
sure, of course.
So, and now it's made it worse. So hopefully we can address that. And then the second question I have, and maybe I should have asked that earlier, I've got a lot of complaints, if you will, about the traffic on Pearl Street. Obviously, the middle school is new. I mean, the elementary is new, and we're trying to figure out things, and I try to tell everybody, well, it's new, we're going to try and figure it out. Is there anything that, and maybe that's the school department, is there anything that we're doing to try and alleviate the backup? I heard it was back up all the way to, I still call it the grasses.
Well, day one it was. We were all out there. Shell shift officers.
I heard there was four.
There was like 8 of us out there. Well, we had used the shift office, utilized the shift officers, myself and Ted Maroney, who were already obviously working the shift, and we held some of the 11 to 7 officers over just for about like an hour or two, just to kind of help us get control of it. Yeah, it was definitely congested. They've actually, Monday, they started a new traffic pattern, and it seems to be working significantly better. Because the issue was the queue. So people parked on Pearl Street, the queue was only, maybe could accommodate 12 cars, a dozen cars or so. And then once, because the road up to the elementary school filled up very quickly. So we needed some place to put longer queues. So what they decided to try, and it seems to be working, was instead of coming in with a new entrance off of Pearl Street, coming in off of Catherine Street, then using the middle school road and then going down the elementary school road. And there's a longer area to queue cars in there, so it gets them off of Pearl Street.
Okay.
So that would, trust me, we've been trying to figure out
Yeah.
100
Because I
different
thought
ways.
we were going to use for, I'm sorry for interrupting.
No,
This was for Catherine and that middle school road. Was that just originally for buses, or was that for parents and?
well, they were sending buses, everybody was coming in the front entrance. There were some people, we weren't allowing anybody coming out the back because they were feeding everybody, all the buses out the back that way. We've since realized that road from the middle school road to the new elementary schools, it's a significant stretch. And you could queue a lot of cars in there, and they're not on Pearl Street. We're going to probably have to, one issue that did come up is we're going to have to probably come up with some signs for don't block driveways on Catherine Street, because I'm sure that'll be a complaint coming, because I've seen the queue and they get parked.
They can't move.
Exactly, so we'll probably have the highway at least put a few, so do not block driveways. But it seems to be working right now. Again, when you have 3 schools in that small area and limited, egresses out, it does. And a lot of of the 10 full-size buses, I didn't see a lot of kids on the buses. So, and that probably would account for a lot of the volume. It did seem to kind of go down a little bit, but I mean, there's still a lot of people dropping off. But the way they're doing it now seems to be alleviating a lot of the Pearl Street issue.
Thanks.
Alright, thank you everyone. Move on to our next item, item 1074, application by Gardner Campus Incorporated located at 562 West Broadway for the bowling alley license. Do you have anything to report?
No issues.
No issues.
They're good on their taxes, good seating.
I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion to recommend approval of the application by Gardner Campus. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item 10785, an application by Gardner Thrift Store for license deal and second-hand articles at 280 Central Street.
No issues with this firm.
And they're up to date with their taxes as well, good standing.
Very good, I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion to recommend approval of the application by Gardner Thrift Store for license deal and second-hand articles. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I will entertain new business.
I have no more business, Mr. Chair.
I was out on that road where the school is on the first day in the afternoon.
So,
I know. God bless you guys. It was fine with you there. You did a tremendous job. And you know, a lot of this, and then you go on the internet and you see everybody complaining first day. And I'm like, give them a break and come on. I want to say that, but I can't. So I just want to say that.
You are.
I just want to say that you guys do a fabulous job. And a lot of times, this is just a people problem. If they're not complaining, I'm so sorry, but they're not happy. So I want to say you did a great job.
we appreciate it. And the simple fact is we could have had the entire department there. And it just was a situation where we can only put so much in one place.
Right.
But no, the options are fantastic. Thank you.
Good luck.
All right, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Motion by Councilor Harris, second by Councilor Boone to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.